Taurus, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. I just start shuffling here from the Good Tarot. This is the book, if you want to know about it, from Colette Baron Reid. It looks like this on the cover. I'm not quite sure why I just showed you that. I haven't done it in the Aries reading, so I'm not quite sure. It's just maybe, you know, like it's like a referral, you know, like being referred to something, or someone is referring you to something, advising you, referring you. And it's so interesting because it's called the Good Tarot, right? I have been trying to look up if there was a bad tarot, because I have so much going on about yin and yang on my channel usually. So I was kind of interested, is there a good tarot and a bad tarot that I could use simultaneously, right? Just for the fun of it, and to kind of have these opposite dualistic, because I've had a lot of that on my channel actually. Like seeing things from different sides. There's good to something bad, and there's bad to something good, and stuff like that. So when I just did this, it felt a little bit like I should maybe tell people what kind of where I get my story from, you know, like where I get my story from. This could be something about checking the source. You know, like if something tells you something, they bring something forward and tell you something, but they are not telling you where they have the information from. And I just showed you this is where it comes from, right? So it could be someone wants to prove something, or you are just, you know, like you're handed a story like that, or you're handed some kind of information. But where does it come from? What source is... Who or what is the source of that narrative or information? Or just attitude or value or something that someone may present something to you, Taurus, and you want to check the source of it, or you're asking for the source of it, or you're checking yourself. Let's say when I put this on the table, it's like there's something about yourself that you think about, and then you want to check the source. You know, like sometimes we have habits and we don't even know why we have them. Like it's kind of maybe an inherited thing, you know, something that we saw our mom or dad do. And therefore we do it also, but we do, it's subconsciously done. We're not quite sure why we do it actually. We're just doing it. It could be an attitude, an opinion. Maybe you're double checking yourself about an opinion that is supposed to be the good opinion, perhaps. You know, like the right thing to do or something, and then you're checking yourself. But where does that come from? Whoever said that this is right and this is wrong, or who? How do I know if this is good for me, or why is it it is marketed or said to be good, but why do I feel that it's so bad? You know, something like that, perhaps. whatever it may be, things that could have been put in front of you, you know, like taking your supplements, taking your vitamins, this is good for you. And you may be asking yourself, but is it? Like, I get constipation whenever I eat this vegetable, or I get so tired, or I get so why is it exactly that this is supposed to be good for me? You know, we are all individuals. You have your own individual body. And of course, you know, like you could have an allergy. If I tell you, just eat strawberries, they're good for you. Or tomatoes, right? But if you have an allergy towards tomatoes, for instance, right? Or you have a cross allergy, you know, like if you if you have an allergy towards different kind of plant, what is that called in English? But like plant allergies, like you know the pollen from the trees, from plants, from that fly through the wind. And we know in the spring, people who have allergies, they start sneezing, and some have a hard time breathing, and they need some kind of medication to make it better. They sleep badly, their eyes are tearing up in water, and red eyes, and you know, things like that. And if you have a cross allergy, you have not only the pollen allergy, but you also have problems with certain foods because they react with the other allergy. So I don't know why I'm saying this, but maybe for some of you it could be something like that. So when someone tells you this is good for you, you should eat this, or you should take this, or you should do this, it's good for you. Yeah. Again, who is the source? Who is saying it? Maybe it's good for them. It helps them. Again, this could be a good advice, right? I'm giving you a good advice. So, but you have to check the source, Taurus, right? That it may be good for them. Like maybe it has solved a problem for that person, or it has been a help in their situation, but it may not be the same in yours, right? It may be with good intentions, right? Maybe they come in with good intentions, they bring forth some kind of advice, or they want to help, for instance, right? But it doesn't mean that it's good for you. Or at least you have to be mindful of the source. Who is saying this to you? Who is bringing this in? Who is giving you this advice, or whatever this is? This remedy, this medicine maybe, or this supplement, you know? Who is giving this to you? Even if they have very good intentions, we just have to be mindful of the source. And if they want to help you and they bring in some kind of remedy, so please take 5 of these pills every day. It will help you with your allergy, or it will help you with your cough or something. Great. So they bring me medicine. That's great. To help me get better. Right? But are you getting better? Does it help you? Is it good for you, right? Is it good for you? The way they come in and put this in front of you, is that good? Have you asked for it? You know, unrequited advice sometimes, right? That people come in with all kinds of stuff, but have you ever asked for it? Did you ask for it? And if you ask for it, you know, sometimes it's misunderstood how people come in and want to help. Let's say you say that you have allergies. Let's say you have a running nose and your eyes are red and you haven't slept much at night. So people can go to the pharmacy, they come with some kind of medication for you. But maybe that's not actually what you were looking for. Maybe you looked for a little compassion. Like maybe you hoped that they wouldn't just try to fix the problem, they would actually listen into that it's not nice to have allergies. Maybe you wanted to tell them how it affects your life. You wanted them to understand how this is affecting your life, your life circumstances, you know, the energy or the lack of energy you may have during the day. Maybe you were looking for compassion, right? You were looking for understanding and compassion, and not really necessarily that someone should fix you or fix your problem or something. Again, I want to say, look at the source. Is this a person that normally would offer compassion? Is this a person that normally is like a fixer? Is this a person that never speaks about their own things? Like when they are not sleeping well or something? Is this someone who is only like, what do you expect from that source, you could say? Do you have expectations about certain stuff or things from a person or a place, but that is not what it's offering? They or it is not offering that, right? Maybe you are not looking in the right place for what it is that you are looking for, right? Or you're hoping to find. The things that you hope to find cannot be found there. You know? There is something about the source. So who is the source? What do they stand for? Is it scientifically proven, or is it just your best friend's opinion? You know? Or even if it's scientifically proven, you could have an allergy towards that product, or the advice simply doesn't apply for you. You're not ready to hear this advice, perhaps, or you don't want to hear it, perhaps. Like if this is a person who constantly offers unrequited advice, it can go on your nerves, right? You can get angry because you haven't asked for it. Maybe you don't want them to like fix you, you just want them to be your friend and accept you for who you are, even if you have your allergies and your eyes are running, and you know, even if you do have that, and even if you have slept badly, maybe you just want them to say, oh, I understand. It's not nice to not have your night's sleep, and I'm sorry that you feel like that. I'm sorry that you have all this cough, or you have like a rusty voice, or you have, you know, like running nose and red eyes and something, right? I know what it means. I know what it feels like not to be exhausted and not feel that you are up to the task, perhaps. the task of everyday life, you know, that when we experience this thing in our lives, it kind of, we don't feel our best, right? We don't feel our best necessarily. It's great to have a good advice if we're looking for one. If we're looking for one, it's great to have a good advice. And then again, consider your source. Who is it you would go to if you want an advice that can fix something? Then go to a person who wants to fix, you know, and who knows a lot about fixing. And then if you're looking for an advice that has to do with well, as there is a difficult or a different. It's a different thing to ask someone about a problem with your washing machine, because it's a washing machine and maybe it is fixable. Like you can actually put it apart and fix something and then put it back together. But another advice could be your psyche, right? It could be your psychological state of being, or maybe an advice about your child or something. It's personal, maybe it's private, there are emotions involved. So again, consider the source who is saying something to you. If they are usually, you know, like the washing machine fixer, you can't necessarily hope to get the answer you're looking for. Because they are looking at the world from a different viewpoint. They see things as if they are changeable and fixable, and maybe that's not what maybe that's not what you were hoping for, Taurus, right? You hope for something else. Maybe you hope for something emotional, right? You hope that it could be more, perhaps. It could be, you know, more personal or more private, maybe. I think that people can have the best intentions. When I sit here and do my readings, I have the best intentions to, hopefully there's something here that you can take with you that could help you, or maybe you like realize something and then you think, oh, maybe I could, if I start thinking a bit like this, maybe it's going to help me in some way. But only if it applies to you, right? Only if it resonates. Otherwise, just throw the reading out, right? It's not. And I would say that about any tarot reading. Like, don't make it fit. Don't try to. If the story or narrative doesn't fit, if the people in it doesn't fit, it's not your story. That's simple as it, right? Then you should have a personal reading with someone that would be more. That would be better. Maybe that's also one of the things that comes forward for you, Taurus, is that whenever the feeling I have here, it could be that, you know, you take a random advice as a good advice. You know, like it's not an advice personally directed towards you. That would be maybe like medicine, right? Medicine is a general manufactured little pill, and it's supposed to help the masses. Like, it's supposed to help many people who have this condition or have struggling with this, but it doesn't mean that it's not manufactured personally for you and your specific DNA and whatever you may have in your body. It's not specifically for you. So when I say I make a general reading, I mean it. I mean it that it's not personal for you. It may sometimes feel like a personal reading, like because I may touch upon something that really fits your narrative, your current situation. And then others, they will click in and look at it and they would say, no, this is not me. And they click off again. And that's fine. So maybe it's also to not make something personal that is general. So this is generally a good tarot. This is generally a good advice, perhaps. This is generally a good remedy. It's generally a good medicine. It's generally for the bigger masses of something. And if we take something that is like manufactured generally, and we want to make it personal, like we put it into a personal box, then we are we can get in trouble, can't we? It would be something like, let's say you're watching the news, and every time they talk about pollution in the world, you're taking it as a personal thing, that you are responsible for the pollution in the world, right? That's not right. That, of course, and that's what I mean with this, like when they put something in your face and they say something that has a certain direction or advice, or this is the right way to do stuff, follow this guideline, right? Follow this guideline and then everything will be right. That's great, like for some people, but maybe not for you, right? It could be something like you buy a new furniture in IKEA, and there's this instruction manual, 1, 2, 3, 4, how to put this furniture together. That would be the good instruction book, and it's generally made, like it's made for the masses who buy this furniture as a general instruction, and it's now given to you. Look at the instruction manual, right? But when you look at it, it's like, I get the feeling of, someone who has dyslexia. Like, it's like when you look at, or you try to follow this advice, it feels like, the letters are switching places and jumping around and everything, something like that. Read this book and then you start reading and it just doesn't fit your brain, right? Somehow it doesn't fit your attitude, it doesn't fit your brain. It says it's good here, so it's supposed to be good, right? It's supposed to be good and fit you, or fit the masses, fit the general masses. But when you look at it, Taurus, it feels difficult or not good. Like you don't feel it's good. It doesn't fit you somehow. It's not a good match, right? That's the scenario I have. So you have to check the source. Where does it come from? Okay. So if we talk about an IKEA instruction manual, it's made for the general public. It's made to help. It has like a plan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's made as one example of how to do this. And when you follow this plan, you will eventually have put this furniture together, or like, you know, Lego plastic toys. If you buy a I don't know, like a specific Lego package with all the right all the right building blocks to make a let's say whatever, some kind of futuristic spaceship, right? And inside you find all the building blocks, and you find a little manual. You find a manual, and when you look at the manual, it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be, again, generally made for the public, for the children, for the child within a certain range of age. That if you follow this, when you start from A to B here, you just start here, right? From A to B, A to B to C to D. Then when you have gone through all of it, you're supposed to have the spaceship done. I just get the feeling that someone is given like a manual or given a tutorial or something, or an advice, or how to do like A, B, C, step 1, 2, 3 to do this, and it just doesn't fit you. Like, it's like when you open the book, it's like, no. You put it, it's like it's not a match. You know? It could be that if this is not a tutorial, a book or something, or an advice, it could be just, you know, that a person, when they start talking, like, you know, when they start like opening up their mouth and speak what's in them, like this is what the book contains, right? But if someone opens their mouth and starts speaking here, they come with some kind of advice, and it's just like, it doesn't fit. It's not right. It doesn't feel right. So how can it be good if it doesn't feel right? Or you try to follow the manual and you get half through it, and then something is not right. The manual is not right. You know, confusion that comes when a manual to get the IKEA furniture together, when you come to point number 5, and then something is missing in the box, or the way the drawing shows how to put the furniture together, you can't seem to like do that. It's like there's something wrong with the instruction, right? There's something wrong with the instruction manual or something, right? It's supposed to be good but doesn't feel good, or it doesn't work. Simply, it doesn't work. So I'm following a plan, but it doesn't work. That feeling. Okay. Overall energy here, 8 of Earth, 8 of Pentacles. This is seeing the result of my labor. This is the feeling that I have an outcome of what I have put work in. So again, let's say you're building this Lego spaceship, and you're putting on all this work, sorting out the different building blocks, and you know, like different colors and whatever. And you're building and building, you're following this instruction, and eventually the Eight of Pentacles would be, now it's finished, right? Now I actually see the total result. I see how, and the wings and everything, it matches now the picture in front of the box. Or I've put in a certain amount of work, and now I'm supposed to have an outcome. I'm supposed to have, you know, I put in the willpower, I nurture it, I fertilized it, I've done everything by the good book here, by the good book, to, you know, like plant my potatoes. I've watered them, I've fertilized them, I have done everything, and I'm supposed to see the outcome. I want to see an outcome or a result or something. That's the Eight of Earth. That's what's on your mind. It's what you want to have or what you want to see. You're occupied by something. I was just a bit distracted because I was looking at this, I don't know, violin, cello instrument here. And just when I took the card and turned it, I looked at it, then my neighbor was starting playing some music. And I was just kind of like the symbolic meaning of an instrument and the music. But now they turned the volume down again, and I was a bit distracted by what I wanted to say, I think. By the music, maybe something is distracting you with music or with tunes or tones or loud noises or something, right? But I am looking at the instrument. Again, the music instrument is a tool, right? It's a tool to create music. And earth element is tangible. So in the tangible world we use tools a lot, actually. When we eat, we use a fork and a spoon and a knife, right? When we build something, we use a hammer or a saw or nails or something. When we want to create music, we may also use an instrument to do that. The earthy element, usually you could say it's tangible, it's something we can touch. It's physical, it's materialistic, or you can use it, touch it, and like you can buy stuff with it, you can build something with it. And now I'm kind of just, let me have a look at this. I think that maybe it's not necessarily the musical instrument, it's the shape of this. Like it looks a little bit like an 8, right? An 8. The infinity symbol, if you put it sideways. I'm leaving it for now. I'm just seeing if what else could come. But the Eight of Pentacles is seeing a labor from some work that has been put in, right? Maybe this, like maybe this has to do with training, right? You want a different waistline, or I said there's something about the shape, like you have put in maybe work into training, cardio training or diet or something. And you have wanted to like have this slim, a slimmer waistline or something. And you're hoping to see that, right? You have followed these instructions. You did what the diet says. You bought all the right foods, you waited, you did your cardio, you were running, or you were, you did the training, you followed what they were saying. But it just seems like maybe the progress is slow, or you only see very little. Like, I feel like either it's here, the progress, like the outcome you were looking for, either it's here, or you're looking for it. Like this is what you want. It's in your focus, that you want something to progress, something to have like a physical. I can see it on my waistline. I can see on the scales that I've lost weight, that I've lost some kilos, right? I see it on the, like my wardrobe size, that I have, that whatever I've put, I've put my effort to something, I can now see the outcome of it. I see that the waistline is here. I see that that I have slimmed or something like that, right? But you have followed, or it has been an advice, and maybe that advice has helped you in some way. It helped you to get a different outcome, an outcome you were looking for here. But it could also be that someone has plans for you to have an outcome. And that's why they offer this. You just follow this book, or you go by, this is the good recipe, the good diet, the good whatever, the good instruction manual, right? And if you follow this, then you will have this, right? I just get the feeling it's not really working for you, like, or as I see this could be, once upon a time someone gave you a cello here, because playing music is good therapy, right? So if I give you this guitar, you could start playing. Here's a manual, right? And then I just see, like over time, this guitar or cello or what it is, it has been put in the corner, like it has been put in the corner of the room because it was actually not really your interest, but they gave it to it gave you it anyway. And then over time, we see how it has, like, I see this a little bit like it has become dusty, as it has collected dust, right? It has become part of the living room now. It's kind of just growing in with everything else. When we're overlooking this now, we're not even seeing it, right? It has become more like a decoration in the living room than maybe a therapist tool, or like an instrument can make music, like for songs or for dancing or something, but maybe it has become an old memory, right? It was something you thought about it once, right? You thought about it. Oh, I could get a guitar, and then if I start singing and playing, I would feel more happy, But You haven't touched this one in a long time, perhaps. The instruction manual was with good intentions. It was a good thing, probably, but for you, it just ended in the corner, and now has just become more of a decoration thing in your living room instead of something you actually are playing. Or, a furniture half built. It has this idea of something is not finished or half built, or it looks a little bit like an instrument, but it's used for something else. You see, like it's like an instrument, but it's used for laundry drying, or maybe it's an idea you had and you started building something on it, but it never really finished. And now it's now something else is hanging over it or covering it, or it has collected dust. As I said, it was an old dream that never really got to blossom. Maybe you gave up on it, right? Or someone gave it to you, again with the best of intentions and everything, but you didn't really like it, and it just collected dust, became something else in the process. Maybe you were committed to this once. Again, it could be like a diet or a change of lifestyle. I am stopping my smoking or drinking. I'm going on this diet. I want to have this fit, slim body. I want to look in a certain way, or I want to have this maybe health or something here. And you may have started it, but then it kind of turned into something else. It didn't build exactly what it was you wanted. The 8 suggests that you are now seeing the result of your labor. Something is coming in. Or you see literally something tangible. Money is here. I can buy something else. I've invested. You say you could have invested money in a stock or stock market or something, and now you're finally seeing. And maybe it's like, again, you've done everything by the book, or you have to follow the steps, and now it's like you see the result of something here. You have followed the guidance, you have followed the good advice, or at least the so-called good advice. You followed it, and there is some outcome here, or at least that's what you want. You're focusing on the 8th pentacle. The 7 of Pentacles card talks about putting in the effort, putting new seeds in the ground and watering and fertilizing it, and like having your focus on growing something. Now it's actually giving a dividend. Now there is an outcome. That's what the 8 talk about. But somehow I just get the feeling that either it is really a good advice. You could earn money on this. You do actually see the outcome here. But it just doesn't feel right? It was supposed to give you the good life, perhaps. But it just doesn't feel right, perhaps. Or lies right with you, or again, it could be that you have a fixed outcome, that you thought, I want to earn my money here in a certain way, right? I want to become a musician here, and I want to earn my money in that way. And someone is giving you an advice. Okay, then if you want to do that, then you have to follow this step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then eventually, when you come to the 10, then you can make the music. You know? And it's just when you start looking and you look like, okay, I start with 1 then. Let me see, okay, and I have to do that and this and that. And the more you read, the more you look at it, the more tired you become, right? It's like it kills the creative process, or it kills the inspiration in the moment. It's not helping. That's what I feel like. But something is driving you towards wanting to explore this and figuring out, how do I get my 8 pentacles here? How can I earn something? How can I like build something in my life perhaps, and have this extra money that I can put aside, or for investment, or this is the extra that we go and use for traveling. This is the extra bonus. I actually get my first sale, or I see the result of something here. So let's see what's driving this. I have temptation. Yeah, something is tempting. It's tempting you to try something. It's tempting you to maybe dream about a little more here. The temptation card, I think temptation can be both good and bad. Right? Maybe you are tempted by the idea that there is an instruction manual for the good life. You just follow this instruction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you will have the outcome here. You will have a breakthrough or something here. You just follow this advice. So the temptation card could be that, oh, yeah, why not? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. I just follow that one. You look at how there's this treasure box here. That if you just bite this apple here, then you get to the treasure box. But what if this was a poisonous apple, right? What if it's actually not helping you at all? When I look at it, it looks a little bit, again, as I said, it looks like an instrument that just stands in the corner, that it is not used. But somehow there is this idea that even though it stands there, it is yielding money. The only way this can happen in my book with music is like the copyright fees. Then when you made one, let's say a high-ranking album that sells a lot, even after the sales go down and maybe people forget about the album for a while. Every time the radio station plays your music, they are charged some kind of copyright fee. So you can get an income from something you did a long time ago. And even if you're not playing music anymore, you could still actually earn money. And when I look at her here, it's like she's sleeping while the treasure box is still full here. It could have the feeling of like passive income, or money that somehow comes even though I'm not playing, even though I'm not working. She's sleeping here. Maybe someone is considering a way of earning money even though they are not, like actively doing something, the 9-to-5 hustle. So there could be something about investments maybe, and hoping that you could get something out of, let's say, stock market investments. That would be what that is, right? That you put money into the stock market, and it's money that you not necessarily need in your everyday life. So you're not playing, you're not playing the instrument daily, right? It can easily just stand in the corner like a saving, that it can stand in the corner like a saving. So the money you may have invested in stocks here are not money that you need to use every day or play on every day. It's part of your ownings, or it's part of your it's something you own, right? But it's not necessarily something you need to. You don't take it out and look at it every day. It stands. You can put it into an account, and as I said, it could collect dust, or you get my point. It's like it's not something you think about every day, right? That you should look at or change or play or something or use here. This is not in use every day. So therefore I could invest it in stocks here, with the idea that I could get some money out of it. So that could be on your mind here. How do I create maybe a passive income? So while I'm and maybe having a temptation here, that this is temptation, somehow I feel like it could be an idea also. But it's an idea that has a little more power to it. It's almost like it's too temptational not to try it, right? It's like it's too temptational not to try it out to see if it works. In that way, the temptation word is correct. But I feel it more like this is a driver in you. So it could be a quick incoming temptation to have, hopefully, like quick money. But it could also be like a slow one, like an idea that builds over time, and it becomes more and more tempting to try this out, right? It's I want to see if it's possible to earn money off something that is old, perhaps. I haven't used this in a long time, or it's not something that I normally, as again, it could be something that is just standing in the attic, right? And it's like gathering dust here. And normally I don't use it, right? She's sleeping on it here. She's not using it. She's not really, she just rests here and is not occupied with it. She doesn't think about it. Maybe it's an investment that has been made. I I don't know, a long time ago, actually you forgot about it. Like you may have forgotten about it. And then suddenly it's like you get a letter from the bank or something, and you kind of just, wow, I had no idea that if I actually put money in the bank, or I make this little investment, and I just I put it aside, I don't even think about it, then it's actually building a treasure box here. You see, it's like a, so the music instrument here could be anything, like, right? If I just let it go, I just relax, I don't think about it, it could actually become something. It could become more here. Maybe you are cleaning out your attic, right? And you're cleaning out your basement, your attic, you find something here. And you think, oh, maybe it has, what if this has gained value? That could also be what this is. So an antique, an antique old cello. What if this has gained value? Or, like a vintage wine or something. Like something that is vintage, maybe. Something that is vintage could have become more popular, and I could actually earn money on it. Something I have not thought about. It has been standing in the attic for a long time. I haven't played on this, used it. I don't even know if it's actually something I can use, right? Or what if I took an old furniture and I changed it from its original aspect? As I said, this is now, you see, this is an instrument. But if you add certain things to it in the top, it could actually be, like a, you could change this into, let's say, people can hang their coats here. So yes, it is a cello originally. It's not used for that anymore. Now people hang their coats on it. And it's decorative, like it still looks like a cello and has this shape and everything. But it's like, it has a different function now. So someone may have given you a cello, a long time ago, because this could be a fun thing to learn, or this could be a good thing to do. But it didn't fit you, right? It didn't fit you, but changing it into something else here that is more beneficial to you, or maybe you can sell this as a product, right? Whatever this is for you. You could sell it as a product, and that is going to give you the 8 of Pentacles. So just take that how it resonates. It just feels like you were given something with the best of intentions for the original use of whatever this tool is, but it didn't work for you. Now it has been in the attic for 20 years, just gathering dust here. And when you look at it, it's like, oh, I could actually, if I just change this a little bit up here or a little bit down here, then I can use it for this instead. And that's actually a marvelous product idea. Maybe this can be sold in the market, right? And there is this temptation to try it, to see if it works out, to see if, what if this product could be multiplied, and it could be a passive income somehow, that if I just change a little bit here, then it becomes much more interesting, right? Maybe people will find this, like decorative or something. But there is this to it that now they are sleeping here. There's or resting. It's like without, like with very little effort, you're changing something into something that could be very profitable. And you could literally earn money overnight while you sleep and rest here, right? Because it's not supposed to be that difficult. Your treasure box is here, and there's this feeling like it's a temptation, right? It could have been an idea that has been approaching for a long time. Maybe it's a quick one that comes in. But the feeling that what if I could, it feels a little bit like passive income, like something I don't have to look at all the time. Again, money that is just in the bank anyway. If I invest it, I don't think about it daily, right? But potentially it could earn me some kind of revenue or something, right? It could give me some kind of outcome. And I don't have to lift a finger for it. That's what I feel like. And maybe there has been a guide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just follow this guideline, then you come to this, you will have this. I just get the feeling it doesn't fit you, or it's not that good of an instruction manual. You don't find it easy, or it doesn't feel like you follow the steps perhaps, or you get half in and then you are exhausted, you don't get it, it's not working, or it just seems like it's not right for you. It doesn't fit you somehow. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Actually, the story is not quite clear for me, so let me just speak and then we'll see what comes here. So, the Angel of Strength. It says strength, but I get perseverance. I get that there's something that you may need to build, like a perseverance, a strength, a muscle, something that is probably asked of you. Like, this could be I just want to figure out how to get some quick money. Something where I don't need to put in much strength. I don't want to put in much effort, actually. This could also mean that, like, secretly inside you there's I wouldn't call it a laziness, but a thought that there must be a way how to not hustle all day to have my money. Like, and Taurus, you are, well, you're ruled by Venus, right? And Venus is a feminine, like indulging, actually, like a feminine sign. I believe that some Tauruses they can muster and gather together a lot of strength to take very like quick and maybe also a bit like harsh action and get something done. But after that, you may also take time where you are like totally relaxing, not doing anything, like really just like really just relaxing. And that's what I feel like here. Here I see someone like really relaxing. Here's the Venus, right? The Venus that just relaxes, gets her beauty sleep, thinks about the beautiful, luxurious, Taurus also likes luxury, right? Luxurious things out there. Tempted by kind of finding a way how to have a life like this, perhaps. And having, like such a big apple here. The apple for me suggests food, right? Or it suggests sustainability. You have such big an apple that can sustain you in whatever way that is. And you have all this money, so you have and you're just sleeping on top of it. Like this is a dream, right? This is something you may have been dreaming about, having all this beautiful stuff in your life that sustains you, and you have the money you need, and you don't have to like do much about it. It's just kind of here, right? And because you may have a dream about this, an idea or dream about this, it's tempting to figure out how to find ways how to get it somehow, right? How to maybe get that coin, or get to the point where this could be the feeling of like overflow and abundance, right? You have a lot, like she can't eat an apple like that. It's way too big, right? There's enough here for more than her, 10 of her, right? There's enough here and enough money, and so having that like stability and this overflowing abundance here of everything without really doing much is probably a dream of Venus, I want to say, right? It's that would be a nice thing for Taurus. I think that they don't have to hustle that much to like get the stuff that sustains them, the earthy stuff that should sustain their life. So when I look at this card, it's like she is, like this one here and this one, I see them as the same. And she is kind of hiding, or she's behind this one, right? She's behind something here that represents strength and power and leadership and management and muscle power and something, right? So it could, for me, like represents the fact that that deep inside you have this one who would prefer that everything was just there for her. She didn't have to lift a finger. It would just be there, like ongoing, flowing abundance. It would always, so that she could just be her Venus self here and just be sustained and be happy and joyous and free and relaxed and stress-free and everything, that she could just be there. That would be this one here, right? That she would prefer that. This is the driver in you. Like this is a wish inside you that kind of drives you towards something. And what it's driving you towards is that I think you have put in some kind of work, and now you would like to see the result of it. Like you may have taken an action to create a life where you could somehow be sustained here, you know, and maybe it is passive, maybe it's, as I said, it was money in the bank anyway. Now they are just invested in stocks or something. I don't think about them. It's just invested, and it's in this, I don't know, algorithm thing going. It's in the stock market algorithm thing, investment portal, right? And whether they were in the bank account or whether they are invested, I don't really think about it. But now there is an outcome here. Or at least that's what you're thinking about. You're hoping for the outcome. Maybe it's here. Now it has actually arrived. So you see, you have put in some work here. Persevered, perhaps. Accepted the fact that it took time. Accepted the fact that this cello got very dusty before the Eight of Pentacles actually arrives. This has become dusty and old and almost forgotten about before it's actually turning out as a good investment, perhaps. Something that can give you leadership in life. Even though, like, you down under here, you know, she just wants to be able to relax. He is the lion, he's the king. So what is special about a king? Something special about the king is that he is in power, he's in charge. People usually, like, they follow him. They want to be part of his kingdom, right? They because he is the king, he's golden, he is given things, he has a golden palace, perhaps, right? He is, so it could be that something is coming in here that potentially can build up a golden palace. That something is coming in here that is helping you to feel more in charge, or as sitting on the top, you know, that she sits on the top of her golden palace here. A big, golden, fertile, abundant palace. And she's in charge. She sits on top of it and she doesn't have to do much. That's a dream, right? That's a bit of a dream to have here. And you've put in, because once you were at the Seven of Earth, and the Seven of Pentacles is where you put in the seeds, you water them, you fertilize them, you watch them slowly but surely grow, you water them again, you know, you keep the idea alive, you keep the thought alive, you keep the positive thoughts, the happy expectations, you're keeping that alive. And then eventually it's going to give an outcome here. That's why we put in the seeds in the first place. So you see, from being someone who maybe secretly has done this, like because when it comes to it, she doesn't want to work. Like she would prefer not to work. She would prefer to be just this. Sleep long hours, not doing, that's the Venus. It's passive, it's receptive, it's beautiful, gorgeous, feminine energy. That's what it is. It's receptive, it's passive, and it actually wants to receive, you could say. That's the feminine part, that it wants to receive something golden, something majestic, something very abundant here. And that is, she is standing behind it, right? So it seems like maybe you have prioritized to, like, you could say, strengthen a muscle, a perseverance muscle, or a muscle of, I am not just a woman here, I'm a queen or a king, right? You have maybe worked on, you could say, creating an aura around you, an energy field around you that has confidence, that requires people to have respect for you, that sees you as worthy of receiving, like gifts and respect, and that you are seen in a different light somehow. The Queen of Raphael, kind, understanding, giving, psychic. It says, follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. I feel also that, to be psychic, usually you have to be receptive in some way. You have to be able to receive the messages that are outside you, that wants to come in. So in that way, you have to be receptive. The most common place where we are receptive is that when we are in a very relaxed state of being, like resting, sleeping, something like that. Others can put themselves in a more meditative space, and they will be receptive as well of information. And maybe that's what you actually want to prefer to be. You want to be that one, the receptive one. When she is receptive of many things. Like, it could be the incoming information, but it could also be like people want to come with something for her. It's a more passive state. She's not doing so much. People may see her as weak, perhaps, or I don't know. They may come with things for her. This could be the feeling that you have a protector around you, someone who is fiercely wanting to protect you, or that you have created, as I said, a kind of an aura that I'm a person that requires. I expect you to treat me like not just, it's not like just in a selfish way that you say, I expect you to treat me like a king or a queen. It's not quite like that. It's more like I'm valuable. Right? I'm valuable just as I am. I'm valuable just as I am. Actually, I'm very valuable, the lion here. I'm very valuable as I am, even if I am resting like this. Maybe I'm actually potentially even more valuable here. We see the big apple and we see the lion here. Maybe it's like the more I rest, the more the lion grows. Like the more this feeling of worth, I want to say, worth. The more the worth grows, the more you rest here, or the more you put yourself in a rested meditative space, or so the more your growth, or your worth, your self-worth, or your confidence, or your own inner leadership actually grows, right? So even though it seems a bit oppositional, the more you relax, the more power you actually get, or the more reloaded you get. Right? To and maybe that has been a process that has been going on for a while, that you need to somehow, you have to keep the idea alive, the vision, the dream alive here, but also realize that when you actually relax and you take time out to just be or sit or sleep here, you are actually building up more energy. I said the apple here was something that should sustain you. So it could be food, but it could also be energy, right? That actually your energy becomes bigger the more you rest here. And the idea that your energy, or your strength, we could say that as well, the strength here, her strength to sustain herself, to reload herself, becomes bigger, more fertile, more stronger, more powerful when she rests. When she rests, she becomes more powerful. And some don't understand this, right? They would say, but resting is just being lazy. Then you're lazy. But this, I feel like I'm talking to someone where this is the opposite, where when they rest, they actually build up their energy. If they can't have enough rest, they will be weakened. They will lose their strength here, right? So I talked to someone who needs to build up a lot of energy here, or they are building up much more energy while they are resting. And eventually that is going to give them the Eight of Pentacles. It's going to give you that now you have, you know, like you are reloaded, but you're more than that. Actually, you are more than just barely sustaining yourself. You actually have more energy, or you have more to give, or you can work a bit more, or you can it will have a better outcome, right? Maybe the result of your labor is actually resting. That when you rest, you actually get more energy, right? When you rest, it's like you get more energy, where others, they would see this as being lazy or inactive, or lying like this is not worth anything. But for you, I think it is. For you, I think that it's actually exactly what gives you this little extra thing in life, right? That it allows you to have a little extra. Well, usually I see this as money, but the card originally, I believe, it is said to have this, like to just be known as seeing the result of your labor, whatever it is. And in this case, it seems a little bit like someone really needs the rest. So to see the result of your labor is to rest, I think, and rejuvenate. Your rejuvenation becomes so much bigger every time you rest, right? And that is going to be seen. Eventually you will figure this out. It's going to be seen. But again, I get this feeling that someone may come in with like the remedy, you know, like you just have to get up and make your 7 sit-ups. and then you go for a walk, and then you eat this food, and then you have this supplement, and then then you will feel good, then you will have energy, then you will. And I just feel like it doesn't work for you. It's not the right recipe or the right. And you have to kind of, the angel of strength is like, you're building the strength to also to say this. Every time you rest here, you are rejuvenating yourself, but eventually also to actually say it, to say, get off my back, right? I know what is good for me. Right? Like you say, the Eight of Earth here would be, here she actually sees it, right? The rest she has done, the rejuvenation that has done, is now showing her the Eight of Pentacles. This is her lion. The lion here is the protection that she needs to move forward. That is her result of her labor, right? That is the extra. That is the bonus. That is the... And the reason for that is that it says here, follow your heart. A love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. I believe that when you are resting here and take your time to slow down and rejuvenate and do your things, maybe in solitude, like she's alone here. Maybe solitude is important as well. This is where you're actually kind to yourself, where you find that where life feels better for you. Maybe where you're also opening up psychic things here, but it says follow your heart, like follow what you believe is right for you here, right? Even though it means that you may need to roar at some point at someone, right? That maybe you need to tell them, like, shove this book up somewhere else, right? Because it doesn't work for me. Your recipe doesn't work for me. I need more rest here. When I rest, I rejuvenate. I actually rejuvenate a lot here. And that is eventually going to give me the extra energy. It's going to give me, I don't know in what this is for you. Maybe it's going to give you more clarity, and it's going to give you well, a sense of maybe more physical energy, maybe a little more energy to put into, as I said, maybe you have made investments and now you are actually able to see that it was worth it. How can I passively have an income or a result of my labor? How can I have that when I'm as passive as possible? When I'm doing as little as possible. I'm kind to myself. I'm understanding. I do what I love to do. I follow my heart. I follow my own inner guidance about something here. It says a love for home and family. Maybe you really need to stay in, rest here, and just, I don't know. It could be, again, Venus likes beautiful things and luxury. Maybe you're like redecorating your house, you know. Maybe you are like really look at how she sits here as a queen, right? She is a queen here, but she sits in a throne, and as I said, it's like putting your crown back on here. You are the leader of your own life. You decide where you want to go or if something is right for you or not. But you really have to feel into it. The approach you're doing when you lay here, get more energy? Do you feel more abundant? Do you feel that your life is actually panning better out when you're doing this? Do you feel like there is this extra outcome here? Do you feel extra energy? Do you feel more rejuvenated? Do you feel that you have like maybe a little more resistance to the world? You know? Do you feel like, again, do you feel like you can do a little bit more? Or you can resist when people come in with all their good intentions here? Can you resist it? Can you say no to it? Can you roar from time to time and say no? You're building up a strength here. Your own power, your own queenness, you could say. And you do so when you follow your own heart. Maybe you need to say no to certain, like, well-meant advice. Like, well-meant advice can be fine, but maybe it doesn't work for you. Like a workaholic, for instance, they would say, oh, get out of bed, right? Get out of bed. I come and train with you. We can go running together. That is the best advice I can give you. That when you run, it creates energy. You will have more energy if you're actually moving yourself. I just have the feeling, for whom I'm talking to here, I'm not sure this is true for you. Like, it's as I said, maybe you would prefer that someone would be kind and understanding here. Understanding your dilemma, perhaps, or understanding that what you are doing is you're trying to figure out how to get your strength back. But in order to do so, maybe you need to do it in your own way, right? That you may need to build this in your own way, and others, you are hoping that they would just understand and be compassionate, that you're following your heart, you're following your own inner guidance here. And others should maybe just back off a little, right? Let you sleep, right? And maybe they are expecting you to be social and talk to them on the phone all the time or something, right? But you would rather be without that conversation, right? I still have the feeling of passive income and something. How can I, with as little of an effort as possible and a lot of rest, how can I create this big apple for myself, right? How can I have a tree that gives me an extra bonus here, or extra strength here, or extra power, or how can I have that if I am not working that much, or if I cannot work that much, if I'm injured somehow? How can I somehow get this then? And still this feeling that she's standing behind the lion. It's like she's building up something here, like a muscle, a resistant muscle, or a protective muscle, or something, or confidence here, own leadership or something. This card has come up in was it Aries? I think. And it is a card of strength. And strength may also sometimes mean that we say no to people. We say no to their advice. We say no to them. saying no is a way of showing that you have your own will and you can use it. But sometimes to do that, you need to have this little extra, right? You need to have this, like, a more than just sustaining yourself. If you're just sustaining yourself, you don't really have the Leo. You don't have the raw. Because if you're just sustaining yourself, or your plant is very little, it can't really sustain in any weather yet. When it becomes a tree and it has deeper roots, then it can sustain a storm and everything. So you need, this one comes up when we have more energy than we are using, or more power than we give away, or this is where we have extra enough to keep boundaries up, to say no, to sustain ourselves in a conflict. We are not that we will survive a bully attack, something like that. We have more than just sustaining ourselves. And because we have more, maybe you feel rich, right? Maybe you feel, I have more money now than I've ever had before. I actually feel rich. I feel I have achieved something. I can suddenly see my dreams come true, perhaps, or I can buy the thing that I have longed for a long time. This can be a change in, like, understanding about yourself, that you have persevered through something and now it has kind of paid off. So you could say, alongside you is no longer a rabbit. No, alongside you is now a lion, right? So it's like you have more energy, maybe you have more money, maybe you have more, I don't know, power. Maybe you feel stronger strength. Maybe your health is different. Maybe you feel a different confidence because you have somehow managed to get more of something here. Maybe by not doing anything, actually. Maybe by just being kind to yourself, trusting yourself, and just knowing that I follow my heart here. I follow what I want. Maybe I redecorate my home. I want a new style, or and you trust yourself more, right? That you, even though you got this recipe here of the good life, or the good recovery, or the good instruction, you are following your own, like something that feels right to you here. You follow that. Yeah. And seeing yourself as a queen, that you are the queen of your life, that others may come in with all kinds of, again, this could be like, maybe this was a time where you were, you could say, weak, or you didn't have much energy here. Maybe you got tempted into something and it took all your energy out of you, right? There's a heart here as well. Maybe your heart got broken, or you were hurt somehow. But the temptation card, I don't see this as grief, or you lost a loved one or something. You got tempted into something. And potentially that there was a lot of promise maybe here. but you got drained by it. Or it's requiring you, the temptation here is requiring you to let go and just lay here and trust, right? And I just feel like that you have worked on something here to gain some power back in your life, inner leadership, being able to like stand on your own 2 feet, maturing, taking matters into your own hands, taking your healing perhaps into your own hands. Again, the method here, the instruction book, maybe it doesn't fit you that much. Maybe you needed to follow your own guidance, your own way. And in that way you crowned yourself. In that way you decided, I want to do this by my own book, right? And I'm doing it by understanding myself and being kind to myself and give the right things to me by following my heart, what I feel is right. Then we have a heart here as well on the apple. And maybe this is your apple, right? That this is what is nurturing you. But others were giving you another apple, right? They gave you this apple. A yellow apple here. They gave you a yellow apple, but you were actually much more nurtured by the red apple here, right? So then I have this card. I haven't had this card before, so it's interesting here. Furred and feathered friends. And it's under the 8 of Earth card here. I feel like the outcome will show you something about who is actually your friend here. Where you can find something that actually gives you this extra, like, who would actually be there for you and sustain you and help you, or understand you, right? Maybe it's in a place you didn't expect. The line is here as well. The line is already here, but it could be, like maybe you figure out that my best friends are in nature. Maybe I'm best nurtured by nature. Maybe I actually love animals, watching them. Maybe I'm very inspired by animals and how they live, because it's interesting with animals, because a lion, for instance, a lion would never like use its energy on something that is of no purpose. Like usually the lion, maybe that's what you're realizing here, you get inspired by the lion, that the lion is suggested to be the king of the animals, but actually most of the time it's resting. Most of its time it's resting. It's rejuvenating the body for the time when it needs to hunt, when it needs to get up and go hunting. Because when it starts its engine and starts running, it's requiring a lot of energy in like a boost of moment. It has to have this boost of energy gathered. But because it doesn't have it all the time, it cannot run like that forever. It can run down some kind of gazelle or something. It can run down that one. And then it will have a meal. But then it also needs to rest. Because it can't run like crazy like that every day. It's not possible. So maybe you are really learning something here. You are looking at, maybe you look at nature here, and you are inspired of how they are living, because most animals are actually not running around like crazy like that all the time. They don't do that. Um, the gazelle is quick, but eventually it also needs to slow down. It will need to grass, have food. Most of the animals on this picture, they also need sleep, right? You could see yourself as, I'm just one of them, right? I'm one of those who I belong to a certain friend group here. My closest friends who actually understand me here, who understand me and would be kind and understanding to me, are people who embrace some of this energy as well here. Maybe you get in touch with a collective of people that experience the world and life like you, right? That they also have a big need for resting and rejuvenating and just dreaming and being in a flow state and something like that. That you can boost up energy and take action on something, but then maybe you need 3 days where you're not doing anything, right? Because that's how your energy flow works. And it says here, or feels to me here, like you're growing that confidence to actually embrace, this is who I am. I'm like that. That is my DNA, right? I'm not yang, right? I'm more yin than I'm yang, for instance, right? I'm more yin than I'm yang. Even though I have yang in me, when I use the yang, it comes out like that. It comes out like a boom, like a boost, instantly boosting for maybe 20 minutes or a few hours, but then I need 4 days to rest. Right? That maybe you are embracing the fact that I'm more like a creature. I'm that kind of creature. I resemble this creature more than I resemble certain humans who work all the time and have 9-to-5 jobs, and they are okay with that, right? Actually, I have fellow third friends here, and I understand the way they live, how they are. Maybe these are your greatest role models. Maybe you realize these are my greatest role models because that's how they live. Like, they don't run like crazy all the time, and still they are sustaining themselves, still they survive, still they have what they need, still they are. Maybe that's what you realize. I realize that I'm like, I want to follow my more natural being. I want to be my natural being, not something else. Even though someone may have given me the good instruction towards a successful life, perhaps. It's like every time I try to follow it, it doesn't work for me, right? It's like, I realize that I am one of these. I could just as well has been a snail here, or I could just as well have been a little rabbit here. I could just as well have been the lion. I am in a human body. I exist here as a human, but actually I feel more connected with their way of life than with maybe most humans, right? it says here, ethical consumption, making a difference through our food choices, caring for all beings, animals, environmental awareness, doing the best we can, and animal spirit guides. Animals are intuitive and sacred beings that walk the earth beside us. They are the wisdom keepers of many earth traditions and some of our most loving companions. They have much to teach us, and yet the way some species are treated is quite unbelievable. As we become more empathic and our sense of compassion expands beyond that of our own family and community sphere, we start to see other beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion to minimize the harm we do to the planet and all the inhabitants. As humans are evolving and moving into a lighter consciousness, our bodies may struggle to digest what was once healthy and fortifying. Also, when we are doing the work spiritually, we may feel more sensitive to things that don't fit our values. When we take on the energy of a product that has suffered imbued in it, that has suffering imbued in it, no matter how good it tastes or even how organic it is, we may notice a lowering of our vibration as it challenges our spiritual integrity. That is not to say that there is one way of living and eating that everyone should adopt. The message is about doing the best we can within our circumstances. It is not always possible to access nutritious and locally produced alternatives. Okay, this could also talk about like a dieting. She is sleeping on a big apple here. Maybe you become a fruitarian or vegetarian here. And that is going to change your energy frequency tremendously and give you more energy here. Maybe that's what this talks about, right? I know that the lion is a meat eater, but not all of these animals are meat eaters here. So maybe you're taking a closer look at that. And again, you do what you love here. You follow your heart, what feels right. Maybe you don't want to, again, as the card suggests, it could be environmental. I didn't get that though. I didn't get that like spiritual awareness of environmental, you could say, responsibility. I didn't get that. But it could be that you're building up strength to defend something here. That you want to defend something or be that you want to do something extra, that you want to do something extra for the earth, or you want to do something extra for your body, your waistline, maybe out of health reasons. And again, people may tell you, no, you should get a variety of food. So you need carbohydrates, you need protein, you need all kinds of, that's the right instruction. That's the good diet. But what if you decide to become a vegetarian and you're only eating certain things because it actually helps you somehow? It helps you, you know? And you're following your heart on this if you want to become a fruitarian, for instance, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that it's a choice that you can make. And maybe others come in with, you know, like a good diet book. Yeah, I read about this one. It should be such a good diet. Try this one, right? It's probably good for you. But I just feel like maybe it isn't. Or you when you look at it and you start it, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Well, the temptation card, of course, it could be an addiction that you have an addiction to something. And then, of course, your choices will probably be reflected in the temptation card, whatever you're tempted by here. We could have a look at it. Let's get the card for the temptation here. It says temptation and attachment. The material world is my playground, but I need to be careful not to be attached to outcomes. This is a warning for me to watch for excess and to know what's not healthy for me. When this card shows up, it's a sign that I'm focused on the material realm and need to be aware of any excess or addictive behavior, my own or that of others. Yeah, it could be that there's something that is really has been tempting you or is tempting you. But as I said in the beginning, it could be something that has been there for a long time. I feel it could be a temptation towards financial gain, right? That you want to try something out. And maybe it has been on your mind for a while. Right now it's just too tempting to try it, to try this out here. To see if you can, if you could actually get this little extra here. Again, we see this, if that could happen, it would be the feeling that you have, that you are somehow more powerful in your life, right? If we feel weak and we don't have any money, we are kind of vulnerable, right? But this suggests that you're trying to build your strength through something, right? That you want to build something here, or have something, or create something. Can I have a card on the 8 of Earth, please? Wow, okay. So here the Lovers here. This is an interesting thing because it feels a little bit like you want to build something to impress someone else, perhaps. To have extra to offer in a situation with someone else. That someone, again, that maybe you want to become the provider. You want to become stable and provider and have, you know, like... there's definitely a connection with a loved one or several loved ones. It could be, well, usually this is a romantic thing. With a romantic partner, it could be, though, also I feel like others who are in, you care for, right? Others you care for. Yeah, again, I said maybe you've made financial investments, stock market. You hope that there is a bonus, you know, like something for your partner, something for your children. And again, it could be that you wanna show them, right? You wanna show them that there is something of value. I feel like value is also a thing here, that there's something valuable, that you have something of value, right? That you have value. Maybe you want to show it, like you want to have the respect of someone here, someone's respect. By following your heart and doing what's right for you, you want that. that is a way to like get your strength up again. And again, the strength is important, especially if we talk about this is your family, right? That this is your closest family. These are people you love. You care about them. Maybe they are not your original biological family. They also have different like species here. But it doesn't matter, you care about them, right? And those we care about, we usually want to be there for them and be part of their life. And you can't do that if you are in a weak spot. If you have nothing extra to give, if you don't have anything extra to give. I took this card as a clarifier for the Eight of Earth here. I want to say the Eight of Earth is when something extra, that you see the result of your labor. Now you have actually, you have a plus, not a minus. You have a plus. You know, like there's, maybe it's more, I don't know, you know, like I have more to show for those I love here. For someone I love, perhaps. You know, like if you have someone special in mind here, you would like to come towards them and tell them you love them. Usually we would like to be in a place where we don't feel weak. We do feel that we have something to offer. We do have something that they like. Why would they else wanna be involved with us, right? If we are lacking, we are ill, we don't have money, you know, why should they choose you then, right? So it seems a little bit like someone wants to be able to have a little more. I almost get the feeling of wanting to become a little more attractive, right? That I would like to have this extra here. I would like to have this extra that I can offer, whatever that is. Again, maybe you have slimmed your line here. Maybe you have more money to offer. Or maybe you have a more attractive body, you know, but there's more here. More money, more strength, more power, more confidence. And you have been working on that. That's what the Eight of Earth suggests, that you have put in the work to somehow have the Eight here. And maybe you did it for someone. Like you did it to impress someone, perhaps. Again, I said it could be like a quick fix scheme that you want like a quick money. You're tempted to like go on or have one of these passive income things going, because then you have more to show for yourself. But maybe you are someone who needs rest, right? But that would not be what you are showing. You are showing that you actually have something to offer, that you do have, again, that maybe you're showing a lion here, but underneath it all you are actually her, like you are this one. But you're showing here, you're showing off something here. Maybe that's what you want, right? That you want to be able to, have that extra here that kind of shows off that you do have confidence and inner leadership, and that you do have success, that you are powerful, and you know, for the people you love, that you can be the kind and understanding and giving person here, who cares for home and family, that you can somehow take care of them. So I get heart chakra here. I wanted a card on the heart chakra, and I got this one. Just feels like there are two cards. There are not two cards. It says heart chakra here. And heart chakra, the heart thing is now present several times. We have the heart here. We have heart here, follow your heart. We have here also make choices from your heart. And now we have heart chakra here. And maybe we have extended family or like biological family here. I feel like it says unfurling back to love here. Oh, yeah, okay. This could be you dwelling in an old love situation. That you dwell in like unfurling back to love, like you. This could be the feeling of a retrograde thing, that you think back on something, you're tempted to go back towards someone. Maybe you dream about that would be a good thing here, that I could go back to something. Because you do actually care about them. A lover here, perhaps. But you would like to be able to have something to offer. And you would like to be attractive. You know, you would like to have the right body, perhaps. A slim waistline and top trimmed or something. You would like to have that extra to offer, that you can present as like strong and everything. But actually underneath, I still have this feeling underneath it all, there's this, I'm not really that powerful. I'm not really. But again, if you are a Taurus in a male body, right? Maybe that's a bit confusing because you're ruled by Venus. The Taurian part of you is ruled by Venus, and you are in a male body. And the male is supposed to, like, be the man of the house, or, something like that. Should be the provider, stable, strong, reliable, all that stuff. So you probably want to present this, right? You want to present it, but for those you love here, your family perhaps here, whether it's your biological or not, it's someone you care about here, and you resonate with them. I want to say it's also easier to, like, I talk about this extra, the thing you can offer more, or the thing that is, extra. That if you're just sustaining yourself primarily, you don't really have extra to offer. This is where you have extra. And the extra could also be that you have compassion, that you have heart, that you have time, that you have love, that you have compassion, that could also be what the extra is about, that you want to be someone who can come in with this extra. One more card on the temptation, please, here. So I get contract here. This is a bit different because, the contract and heart here, usually these two don't really go well together. This is emotional, and this is very business contract, like we are agreeing on something and we sign on it, right? So these, it doesn't necessarily feel like a good thing. That maybe you have been tempted by something that it could be like a marriage contract. Maybe you were married to this person once here, and you're considering going back here. But again, weighing the scales here is, again, this feeling, have I something to offer? Have they something to offer? Do I want what could be offered? And there could be a temptation that maybe I could go back to someone. Maybe because they have the extra. Like maybe this one has the extra thing. Maybe they are the ones that could protect you, right? They could be the protector here. So if I go back to them, they could protect me. They have the extra. This person here, they have the extra. Or I have to be the one who brings the extra here. The extra thing. To be either this one or this one, right? Like if you believe that someone could be your extra, your provider, your protector, your maybe your friend here, maybe your partner in crime or something, something like that, because they are very kind, or because they are understanding, or because they are compassionate. But I get the feeling we have 4. I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4 places where there is something about the heart. And heart for me talks about strong emotions, feelings of love, feelings of contract could be that your emotions are somehow bound by something. I don't hope so, right? But I've talked about trauma bonding on my channel as well, but I don't feel like it. Feels more like that you care deeply for someone, or several here, that you care deeply for them, and you want to be able to bring that extra, like sweeten their day, or bring in that extra, I don't know, you surprise them maybe with a little, like notion of love that you maybe, I don't know, you bring them lunch boxes, right? You bring them a gift. You want to sweeten their life a little bit, or you want to protect them here. Maybe you want to show them luxury. The little extra here could be, like you want to present someone you love here with like a big gift. Again, the lion is associated with the king, right? Maybe something golden, maybe something like a diamond ring or something. You want to bring in that extra here because you care so much. out of love here and kindness, you want to be able to give that to them, to those that you care about. And maybe there is, I don't know, underneath it all, some kind of environmental thoughts also, or dietary thoughts. But actually I feel it's so much more related to like interpersonal, emotional stuff here. That's what I get. Angel of strength here. So I get Hermit here, the Hermit card for the Angel of Strength. The Hermit card goes within. He looks for answers. How can I unlock this? Maybe that's what you're doing here. You feel, maybe you do feel like her, weak, or at least needing rejuvenation and time to rest, right? But what you want to unlock is maybe this in you. Maybe that's what you have been trying to do. You have tried to unlock this one in you. Your own protector, your own lion, your own feeling of power, your own, dignity. I want to see your own value, your own self-worth, your own confidence. Maybe you have been trying to unlock that. We see how the keys are up here. That's what the Hermit does. The Hermit goes within to try to unlock something, to find something, to open a door here, to find some secrets in the dark. Maybe that's what you've been doing. Now he stands here. I don't think that he is in the dark. That could also be what this means, that the Eight of Earth is here, that actually something is unlocking here. That he is here, the lion, your inner lion. He is here. And because he is here and you feel that you can protect yourself perhaps, or you feel that you are stronger now, maybe the job you have done, the way you have been a hermit here, has been through self-care and understanding and kindness. Your own book, I feel like, where you followed your heart here. Instead of following someone else's recipe, you did it your own way. That's how you unlocked it. But I also feel like it could be that because you do have this lion now, because this lion is with you now, you can be more kind. You can be more understanding. You can be more giving. You can be more relaxed, right? Because he is here with you. You have unlocked this one in you. And that's what you also want to show the people that you care about, right? That you actually do have this. You stand more on your own 2 feet, perhaps. You're ready to maybe, I don't know, this could also refer to that you're ready to seek out new friends here, right? You're ready to stand on your own 2 feet. You are ready to go where you find like a real, true friend group, authentic friend group, right? Someone who understands you and is same as you, perhaps. I get a feeling of wanting to give something from the heart. The contract could talk about also blood contract, right? That you have children, for instance, right? And you want to be there for them. and you embrace them even though they're very different than you, right? That you embrace them, they're just like they are. And that is much more easy to do if you feel safe in your own body, if you feel like you are not just sustaining yourself, you do actually have extra. It's much easier to be kind and understanding and embrace the differences in other people here, and other, like, friends around you and other people or children in you, when you feel more comfortable in your own skin here. And maybe that's what you're seeing, the result of your labor, that it's like you feel you have extra. Maybe it's like you have grown a lion here, like you do feel like you have extra, like an extra protection or a layer of, like power somehow. And the driver in you, maybe once it was an addiction, maybe once it was an attachment or a codependency, a contract you were in, but I don't necessarily see it like that anymore. It's like you have come to the extra. It's like you do have extra of something. And I think maybe it's like you feel it, right? Like maybe it's like you feel it. But again, as I said, maybe this one has really been like collecting dust. Maybe you have been like trying to rebuild something in your life for a very, very long time. You almost have forgotten about it. Or you didn't really even think about it. But there could be a situation where you feel this is really coming forward, where you suddenly see, I have made progress. I have actually found a key here. So even though I've been a hermit for a long time, I didn't realize that I grew. I opened the door to my inner lion here. I didn't realize that I have grown this lion. But now I feel like I see it, right? There could be a situation here with someone where you suddenly see how that you have more, or that you persist more, or I said perseverance, maybe you can persevere more, like with something. Like you have more, you have stronger boundaries perhaps, or you are saying no or goodbye to the good old book or instruction book, right? That now you have grown something more that you could have gotten if you followed the book here. If you followed the book, you would not have gotten to the 8. It was because you followed your heart. You followed what felt right, what seemed right. That's why you got the lion here. If you had followed the book here, maybe you have gotten a deer, right? That would have been what you could have gotten out of that situation. But because you followed your own, something deeper in you, right? Because you did that, you now have the lion actually here. You're thinking you have taken yourself into bigger dreams. Like if you followed the book, you may have gotten, like you would have done something about your confidence perhaps, but you would have gotten to the deer. And the deer would have been your companion, right? But because you decided to say, I'm going to do it my own way, I want a bigger dream, I want a bigger apple, or I feel like there's more. I feel like there's more to me, or there's more to learn, or there's more to gain. So I follow my own inkling. And this is where I unlock the lion in me. where I could have gotten perhaps a deer, but I'm unlocking the lion. And because I'm unlocking a lion as my companion, who is very fierce and very brave and very powerful here, and is not taking bullshit necessarily, I present differently in the world. I talk differently. I have different, I state my boundaries in a different way. You know, that's what I feel like. I don't have to be harsh. I don't have to be, I just have to be, you know, like the lion, when the lion is most evolved, we say that this is the most strong spiritually achievement you can have. Like the spiritually grown and mature lion is, I want to say, they are not necessarily into like material egotistical gain, which an immature lion could be. An immature, unawakened lion could be very selfish, just wants spotlight, just wants to gain and gain and gain. Wanting more and more for himself, wanting more and more of a reputation, egotistical needs, materialistic needs. A spiritually mature and grown lion here can actually go the other way. They can choose not to want that much. Like they choose that the fortune they have, they now use it to improve something in the world. They are into climate changes or something. Like the change they want to make in the world is not necessarily for themselves alone. They want to do it for the earth, right? Their perspective changes. They stand as a totally different leader. They could pursue like religious or spiritual teachings, right, and become very attuned with that and very devoted to that kind of living. Not necessarily just taking, wanting. It's very different. So I don't know exactly which one you have unlocked here, like whether it's very spiritually advanced or you have unlocked simply a new lion here, your inner lion. You figure that one out. But it just feels like, and this is the overall energy of the reading, that either you want or you do have something extra here to offer, or to show for yourself, or to impress with, or to give, or something. You do have something that is extra. That's what the 8 suggests. Wanting to give something extra, or have something extra to maybe the person is the extra. As I said, maybe the lion here is the extra person, the lover here. Maybe that's the one, right? That when they come into your life, this is where you feel the 8 of Earth. now it has all been worth it. My cosmetic surgeries have paid off. I have attracted a person into my life, or my work here. My work, how I have attracted a person into my life because I am this. I have managed to become attractive in that way. They see me as attractive, right? I have become this successful person. Somehow I put in the seeds, I did the work, I have become attractive in some way, and that's why I now have this extra. I have this person in my life. Maybe you feel you have time. After a period of rejuvenation, you feel I actually have time now for a love. I feel strong enough and capable and confident enough to have someone in my life, right? Because again, if you engage in a relationship, if you don't have much to offer, like if you're sick, you're weak, you're penniless, you don't have work, you look miserably, your body has been neglected, who would find you attractive then? To sometimes, at least if you should find them attractive as well, right? Who would if you looked at someone like that in the street, you would probably not go towards them. We look for a match somehow. We look for someone who is within a certain group, you could say, within a certain range, energy range. We are trying to find that match. Right? And maybe you have overcome something here. You got tempted into something, maybe you have overcome it. You have somehow managed to overcome it. And therefore, you're ready to offer your heart again, or you're ready to get involved with someone again. And if that's the case, Taurus, it's great, right? That maybe you've been dealing with a contract here. And it has been very troublesome, like it has been very difficult, right? And you really needed to rejuvenate after this. But now it feels like you do have this extra to, like you are ready to offer something. You're ready to, like, get involved with someone here. You feel like you are, like, I look great again. I have gotten my strength back, my mojo. I feel confident again. I feel I can go out there and find my match here. I have been a hermit, but I'm also unlocking. I have unlocked something here. Again, so I feel confident to go out and find my queen here, perhaps, or find my king, who is kind, and I will follow my heart, and I will prioritize, like home and family. I will follow my maybe psychic imprint, my psychic awareness, and I will find. I want to be with people and friends that are like me, perhaps, and who cares and who accepts my lifestyle, perhaps, my life choices, or my lifestyle, or my way of living, my diet, or my priorities, my values. And I can do that now because I have this extra. I feel okay again. I feel I have something to offer. I feel, yeah. Maybe after a long period of time, as I said, it may have been gathering dust in the attic. Like maybe you feel like I'm brushing myself off again, and I'm putting on my suit, right? I get shaved and I get a manicure, and I get my hair done. I get like a nice new wardrobe, and after a long period of time of recovery, um, I'm doing that again. Now I feel I do have more spare time, or I have more confidence. So I will go out and be social again here. I will go out and have fun after a long period of being a hermit perhaps here. But I've also learned something, right? I've learned something from whatever this was. I will follow my heart here, right? I will not get lured in or tempted by something that is not trustworthy. I trust my psychic information, my downloads. I trust that the work on your heart you have done to open your heart and be more receptive of your intuition, your intuitive guidance, that you will follow your heart on this. I feel also trusting here, like feeling that you can do this, and I can trust. I trust myself. I trust my own strength. I trust this, my intuition, and that's the way I will find my new family here. I will be able to get into social groups that will accept me, and where I will accept them, right? Because they also need to accept me for who I am and what I want. And steering away from something that drained you, perhaps, here at one point. A contract here, I think. That's what I get. Can we have an advice card, please? Wow. So an advice card is fire. Get fire. So the fire card for me as an advice is something about managing the fire, right? And Leo is a fire sign. Fire is life force energy. It is how we use our energy. It is temperament. It is joy, fun, inspiration, motivation, engagement. It is anger, rage, all this stuff as well. It can be like the feelings of disappointment. Can lead us into becoming revengeful or something like that. So managing the fire here is important. Becoming aware of the fire. We have passion here and lust and sex and everything. The advice card is to look at this, right? That if you feel like you have extra here, what is that you're using your life force on, right? Do you like have fun? The fire could also be like the sun card, right? Have fun. Go out and have fun. Just enjoy yourself. Be passionate about something. But the advice could also be make sure that you know how to decipher passion and lust as opposed to love, because we have 4 love cards here. So become mindful of the difference between these, because lust and passion is not necessarily the same as love, and love is not necessarily the same as lust and passion. So the advice card seems to take a look at the fire here. What do you use your energy on? Is it a waste of time? Is it good? Or even become aware that has this fire anything to do with a former temptation that you fell for? that maybe you should just have in mind that if you're meeting up with an ex here, if you're meeting up with an ex, I want to say, be mindful that it actually goes with this, I want to say, new line here of yours with the four cards that refer to heart here. That because the fire can take over. The fire can take over and you become obsessed with someone. Or you get addicted to the sex or something. So the fire, just distinguish between what is love and what is passion. Doesn't mean that you can have both in the same person, but usually, well, a good solid friendship is maybe to prefer before you actually have this, before you have sex with them, or before you go into like igniting something else here. Because, well, what I know about relationships is that things that start with the fire usually ends up getting broken. So if you start out with the sexual thing, you will probably have a more difficult time building the friendship after. Like, doesn't have to be, but just bear that in mind when you're out there. And maybe also bear in mind that a relationship requires something, right? It's not just something that is kind and understanding and giving here. It's not just that. It will also require something from you. It will require you to be loving and kind and understanding as well. So the extra you have, do you have that? And if you are working on getting back with someone, a former love here, I want to say it seems like you are seeing a result of your labor, that something is improving. Again, just be mindful about the fire, the willpowers, because each of you have you have each one your own willpower, your own free choice. And sometimes they go very well together and sometimes they really don't. So be mindful about the fire. You both have wills. You both have desires. You both have needs. You both have lust or, I don't know, passions. You both have temperaments. You both have your own confidence or your own strength or your own powers. You both have that. So in order to really lead with follow your heart is also to accept that someone else does have their own agenda, as well as you have your own agenda. And that could be something that this one is, maybe it will end up in a quarrel and a fight, right? Maybe it will end up in passionate reconciliation. I don't know. But just bear in mind that the fire is a thing. And the regulation of your own energy, as I said, maybe at some point I said, maybe you are someone who cannot work that much. You don't have that much energy as someone else does. You can't, follow up Like they have much more energy to burn during the day, and you just don't, right? You or at least you didn't. Like maybe you have more now, but again, how do you want to use it? So that's what I feel like. How do you want to use it? And this extra, as an advice, the fire here, I want to say it could also be energy management, that you really have to be aware that some people have a like monstrous energy, right? They can work like 20 hours a day almost, right? They don't really, it's not wearing them out. But I just feel like in your case with this card here, I feel like at least in the past, or maybe also still a bit, it's, you couldn't do that, right? It was exhausting you, and that's why like energy management is a thing. I feel like I've had fire and fire energy and energy management. It has come up also in the full moon reading and in the Aries reading. There is something about recognizing that different people have different fire. Sometimes we say that this is sex drive. It doesn't have to be. It's life force, like fire in general, like to do something. This is yang energy, right? Maybe if you have more yin energy in you, you are not a yang then. You're more yin than you're yang. That's just how it is. Some are more yang, definitely more yang, and very little yin, right? That's what I feel like, that both bring something to the table. It's just different. It's different, and there should be a respect for that. There should be an understanding for that, an appreciation for both. And this is where sometimes you clinch heads, right? Because one person thinks that they are carrying all the weight of something, but they are not recognizing what the other one is bringing to the table. Maybe they bring this, right? Kindness, understanding, nurture, care, a love for home and family. They bring intuition, they bring soft touch, you know. Maybe they represent the base, the home, like a stable home to come back to, right? That's also important, right? But sometimes it's not recognized as such. It's not recognized as useful or of value somehow. Maybe that's something you had to learn, that even though you are someone like this, and you may need to rest more, you do have some of this then. Right? When you are rested, you do have some of this. And in a home, that is just as important as someone always work very masculine, harsh, or like the softness is also important. I think that every man, almost every man, if they look back at their mother, there was something very special with her, at least if you've had a reasonably good relationship with her. There's something about her touch, right? Her smell, perhaps, her way of looking at you, or smiling at you, or just touching your hair, or some memories you have with her. That is more of this, right? That has this. I've said it many times before that some of the yin things, the feminine things, it's something that it kind of evaporates. It's something that doesn't stay with us. It's a memory we have. It's a smell through the air. It's a vague feeling of something. We don't remember how many times did mom hold my hand when I should fall asleep, right? We don't remember that. How many times did she give me a bandage on my knee? It evaporates. It's something that is there, but we can recall it as, let's say, you have been building a tree house, a bird tree house in the garden with your dad. And still after 10 years, this tree house is still there. You can still see it. But with the mother, it's different. Maybe you cook with her, but the dinner is long eaten. It's long time ago it's eaten. Maybe you go you have some kind of amusement. You go to an amusement park, but the only thing that reminds you of it is maybe a few pictures. The little things in the home. It's not necessarily photographed. It's not written down. It's small things that is not regarded as much, but it actually is important, right? And if those two characters see each other and appreciate both of these things with each other, we could have many more happy relationships, I believe. But that's my personal thought. Yeah, okay. This is what I had, Taurus. I hope this helped you somehow. I feel like I just want to put in also just a little bit warning about fantasies, right? Sometimes we can have a fantasy about someone in our head, but they don't have the same fantasy. Like they have their own. Again, the two different wills, the two different agendas, the two different checklists or whatever. Having a romantic idea about someone is great until it's not. It says here deeply emotional commitment. Commitment is great as long as the other one also commits, right? And they are willing to see you for who you are, and you're willing to see them for who they are. It's not just that I have a little to offer. Maybe you do have something to offer. Maybe someone is coming in and wanting to offer you something, which is great. But you still discern here then, if you want it, right? Because I think that you stand with something else now. You've unlocked something here. You've unlocked something about yourself here. And you use that, right? Use this new vibe of yours. And again, if you are more Venus, like if you are more feminine, you still need alone time or rest, or so you still need to manage your fire. No matter how tempted you are not to consider that, or no matter how exotic they are or alluring they are, to not end up in this again. I feel like you really need to like be aware of this, right? Okay, this is what I had. I hope this helped somehow. Take very good care of yourself, Taurus. I send you my very best. Love and light to you. Bye bye.